Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Tamsin Young from tamsinyoung.com, and today is day one of the course addiction support program, where we're going to be facing our demons, having a look at why we are so addicted to buying courses and not following through with them. And it's really not about the money, but there is a financial benefit by doing this at the end of the day, because if you can find out why you're doing something and not following through, then that can help save you money, because you'll be more mindful of your spending and you will create better awareness about what you want, what is important to you, and you'll be more mindful when you actually come to spend the money. And my goal is for at the end of the week that you will actually have some criteria that you can refer to. Every time something comes up and you go, oh, that'd be really nice for me to buy, whether it's a course, whether it's going to a seminar, any kind of training, buying a book, anything like that, anything that we accumulate and we're allowed to sit there and not follow through on or not implement it. Because I know for myself, I'm very good at buying books and reading them, but not necessarily following through and implementing what I've learned into my life. And really, why are we doing this if it's not to make ourselves better and improve our life and those of those around us? So today's task is really, really easy. It's making a list of all the courses, books, seminars, training, anything that you've done in the last year, and just making note of the date that you bought it, the name of the course, and the cost. Now, this isn't about being perfect with your list, getting it totally complete, anything like that. You can do it for less than a year, you can do it for more than a year. It really, really doesn't matter. What is important is that you get the most of what you've done written down. How can you do it? Because if you're anything like me, you've forgotten about half the courses that you've actually acquired. So you can go through your credit card statements and see what you can pick up from there. You can go through your PayPal into your PayPal account and see what is recorded there, or you can search for PayPal in your emails and see what comes up from that option. So depending on how you've paid for it, you can use that as a means to find out what you've used. I use, for my own personal financing, I use a program called YNAB, You Need a Budget. And I can go into there because I record all the courses that I've done, and I can click on each month that shows that there's been an expense, and I can see where I actually spent my money and how much it was. So that will give me everything in one easy way of finding it. So whatever works for you. If you're looking at books that you bought from Amazon, you can go into your account in Amazon and you can make a note from there. And I know that last year I went through the number of books that I had on my Kindle that I wanted to go through, and I made a list of not even all of those books, but I selected the top ones that I really wanted to read through, and I still managed to buy more books and not even read through most of the books that I had selected. So books is another area that we may think it's not that much money we're spending on it, but why spend money on something if we're not going to make any use of it? So remember, the goal here is not to create a better bottom line for yourself and have more money to spend. That is a byproduct of what we are actually going to be going through today or within this week. The goal is really to get an understanding and to dig deep and find out what is it that within ourselves that we are trying to satisfy by purchasing all these courses or books and not following through. The byproduct is how you're going to have better money management skills around this area. And at the end of the day, you'll have more money in your pocket, which you can put towards other things in your life that you would also like to do. So once you've made that list, and I'll create a spreadsheet where you can write it on there, or you can just write them down in a journal. There's nothing that has to be fancy about how you do this. Tomorrow we're going to go into more detail on each course. But just when you've written that list and you look at it, think about how do you feel when you look at that list. Make a note of your feelings that come up. Do you feel that it's money that's been well spent? Do you feel that you've wasted your money by making these purchases? And we're not looking at judging ourselves. We're not looking at beating ourselves up. That is not the name of the game. The name of the game is awareness, digging deep, being willing to go within ourselves and find out, what am I feeling now? Not to go in depth on each of the courses, but just looking at that list that you've got. What are the initial feelings that you have that are rising up? And just to give you an awareness of the spending that you've done over the last year as well, because sometimes we're totally oblivious. We know we don't have any money in our bank account, or we're spending too much on our credit card account, but we're actually not aware of where our money is going or how much we're spending on a certain category. So your assignment for today is to make a list of all the courses, books, training, seminars that you've attended in the last year or whatever time period you want to do. Put down the date, the name of the course, and the cost of the course. And then hop over to the Facebook group, share any ahas that you've got, ask any questions that you might have, anything that you're not sure about, and support each other as well. And feel free to share whatever comes up for you, but also please remember this isn't a competition of, I bought 10 courses this last year. Oh, only 10. I bought 50 courses. We don't want it to become a competition of who has bought the most number of courses, because at the end of the day, it's not about the number of courses that you've done or the amount of money that you spent on the courses. This is about the underlying emotions and what is driving us. So this is where we want to come to. You can mention the number of courses you bought. You can mention the amount of money you've spent if that feels important to you to mention. But please don't feel that you have to share that information, and don't feel that you have to compare yourself to anybody else and what they've done either. So this is a very safe space for you to share what is going on and how you're feeling. And I encourage everybody to support one another in this process as well, because the more support we can have, the better it will be. And I will also be offering a prize at the end for anybody for the person who offers the most encouragement and does the most amount of sharing, and basically takes the participation in the support program that we're going to be running. So I look forward to seeing what you've got to share today, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.